All right, here we go. We did it, dude.
Yo.
We've been working hard since January,
Nice.
putting the hours in,
Nice.
and we made it to your favorite episode.
Nice.
Are you really excited?
Nice.
We can make it about whatever you want.
I mean, sure.
You're listening to the No Big Banana podcast.
Welcome back to the No Big Banana podcast. My name is Charles.
My name is Nice.
Yeah. So
Nice.
today we're going to talk about
69.
whatever we want to talk about.
Yeah.
First of all, we should probably reference Miss Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah.
And her unfortunate departure from our planet. She was awesome.
Of all the people that
Yeah.
shouldn't have died this year, she's at the top of the list, buddy.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, just
My mom met her.
really.
Yeah, check it out.
That's awesome. We can do this later.
No, we can do it now because it's cool. Actually, my mom met 3 of the justices.
Oh yeah.
My mom, she met Sandra Day O'Connor, she met Clarence Thomas, and she met RBG.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No shit. Look at
Yeah,
that.
in 1998.
Hot damn.
She went to law school.
Looks exactly the same as she does today.
Yeah, not
swear to
much
God,
different. In 98, she went to law school at Tulsa.
Sure.
And evidently the dean had like friends in high places and arranged
Apparently.
so
That's dope.
yeah, it's pretty neat.
I just
So how you feeling? Are
I'm
you
good.
excited?
Yeah,
Are you
I'm
excited that we're
happy.
gonna fill
Well,
that
it's just-
seat? That seat's gonna be full
No,
by
that's
the end
like-
of the month.
by
Are
the
you
end of the
kidding
week,
me?
are you
Dude.
If you don't think and that's the thing too, is of course, one of her last wishes was please don't fill my seat until after the election.
Right.
And then within 10 minutes, Mitch McConnell was like, oh no, yeah, we're gonna fill my seat immediately.
By the way, just for shiggles, I was looking at the polls in Kentucky.
Yeah.
There's a 6% chance he doesn't win.
Yeah.
It's really crazy, how
mean-
locked down he has that seat.
I don't know.
You look at some of these people like him, and it's not just on the right either. I think fucking Pelosi and Schiff need to get out of there.
Yeah.
But who's not going to elect them?
I know. And the thing too, the one thing that I'm hopeful for, and I'm not holding out a lot of hope, but I feel like if anything, this might mobilize a lot of Democrats who otherwise, or centrists would have been like, hey man, this is kind of fucked.
Yeah.
This is kind of fucked. You spent 10, 11 months holding a seat down just because you didn't want to. And
Right.
now her last wish, her last will and testament basically was don't fucking do that. And then Mitch McConnell was like, oh yeah, no, we're going to do that immediately.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
Just in
It's
case
you
anybody was
fucking-
wondering.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
of
not
course.
surprising.
I mean, it's just another
If anyone's
blatant.
surprised by that, you
No,
are fucking
well, it's just another
child.
blatant. It's just another blatant hypocrisy move.
Yeah.
And it's on both sides because 4 years ago, Mitch McConnell was saying, "Oh, well, we can't do this in an election year, folks," and the left was saying, "Hurry it up, let's go."
Yeah.
And so now they've just reversed roles.
For sure. It's a little bit more extreme than that because we're talking 40 days as opposed to 10 months. It is a little different.
Yeah, I know, but I mean,
The thing that's frustrating, and then we're going to be done with the politics talk.
oh no, we're not, because I got something else I want to
Fuck
talk
you.
about.
God damn it. I just think it's funny that Democrats are staying in a nice little circle of oh, this is what we should be doing. This is what optically looks good. This is what looks morally ethical. We're going to stay in this little circle. And then Republicans are outside of the circle what are you fucks doing?
Right.
And pushing the border and pushing the border and pushing the border. And it's well, if we just stick to our ideals, we'll get there eventually. And it's no, you got to fucking play their game. You can't.
Well,
You can't come to badminton without a racket, dog. You gotta be there
Yeah.
to play, and they aren't. And so it's no shit, they're gonna get to do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah. Well, and then
That's how this
they do
works.
silly shit like Joe Biden singing Despacito.
Yeah.
What are we doing, Joe?
Yeah.
What
What's
kind
that
of
about,
what
man?
kind of Hillary Clinton hot sauce bullshit is
Yeah.
this?
Are you gonna tell us to Pokemon Go to the polling booth too? The fuck is wrong with you, dude?
Oh, okay. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about, which I think is just hilarious. Remember, I think that I told you about this a week ago, about how I read that article that said, this is the headline.
James Bruno Mars is gay.
Transgender anarchist wins GOP nomination for sheriff in Cheshire County.
Yeah. Which means literally anything besides Democrat.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's at that moment, just reading that headline, I decided in my head, oh, So on the list of things that Republicans hate, there is truly nothing above Democrat.
Yeah.
So with that said, there's more to the story. So I did a thing that people used to do back in the 90s and read the article instead of just looking at the headline. Yeah.
Why?
So check it out.
You already read the headline.
Keene's Aria DeMezzo is the first transgender person to win the GOP's nomination for Cheshire County Sheriff after running unopposed in Tuesday's primary. DeMezzo, associated with the Free Keene movement of libertarian activists, said Friday she is looking forward to debating incumbent Sheriff Eli Rivera, the popular Democrat who is running for his 5th term. So it occurs to me they have to either vote for her or the Democrat.
Oh, no.
Which is hilarious. And so then she says, I'm hoping he will debate me. That would be the highlight of this, she said. DeMezzo first ran in 2018 as a libertarian against Rivera and longtime Republican candidate Earl Nelson, though she ran under her previous male name because she did not have her name legally changed in time for the 2018 ballot. She goes on to basically explain that, like, she did this on purpose to prove that people care more about the letter than the candidate.
100%.
So she, because all of this stuff came
she's
out.
Still a guy.
Right.
So to them, it doesn't really matter.
Right. Well, so here's the thing. She's transgender, a self-described anarchist. She's a self-described Satanist, and it says publicly, fuck the police.
Yeah.
And she's like, by the way, all of this is a simple Google search away. Had any of these 4,200 people or however many voters there are in the county done a Google search on me, they would have seen this. I never tried to hide this, but they didn't do that. And they just voted for me because I was there. You know, there was an R there. They had no problem making me the nominee.
Yeah.
And I was just
Of
like,
course.
man, that is some fucking shades on, deal with it, thug life.
Yeah. That's some
gangster
42069,
shit,
like
dude.
3 million IQ play.
Yeah, that's some episode 69 shit.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like,
nice.
It's really, really cool.
Nice.
Like, I think it's important.
Yeah.
People should.
I've been saying that for a while, man. Like, honestly, like, and I know that this is not really like something that's feasible, but I don't think that somebody's political affiliation should at any point be, you should have to just vote for somebody based on if they agree with you or not. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that, like, it's fair to put, like, the R next to somebody's name and then just, oh, yeah, of course I'm going to vote for the R. No, you should actually have to look at who the person is. And if you agree with them, then they get the nomination. Like, I don't think that delineating whether or not there's a D or an R next to their name should be the number one factor for voting somebody in. I just disagree with that premise. There's no tangible way to make that happen, but that's proof that, like, yeah, maybe, I don't know, if you actually pay attention to who's running the country, might make things a little bit better.
I mean, you kind of, I feel like maybe you have to water it down that way on such a massive scale, because the amount of critical thinking for it to really be a fair, election is just, especially
if
like
people aren't willing to take like 5 minutes to Google search somebody's name to figure out what they're about,
right,
then they shouldn't be allowed to vote.
Well, here's the other thing to consider, I think, too, is like,
fuck DeSantis.
In the last decade, we've seen a lot of heroes die. With shit coming out because of the internet. The American hero is not once what it was.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
The American hero is kind of
depends
dead,
on what
right?
your definition of the word
oh my God.
is. What?
Donald Trump is going to be known historically as the last American hero.
Fuck you, Charles.
I'm just saying. He will be.
I honestly, like, and call me crazy, I think if we don't get him out this term, he's not leaving.
Look, man, if you're not voting straight down the R side, I don't even want to hear about it.
No.
That's all that's going down.
I'm voting Vermin Supreme 2020.
If you don't think I'm voting for Joe Johnson, Joe Jorgensen.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, what the fuck?
Joe Jorgensen. Yeah, because I'm not going to allow any form of pressure or guilt from either side of what America has fucking cooked up to sway me from voting with what my true conscience is.
I'm going to be honest with you. My true conscience, whatever, shut up, fuck you, 69.
My free conch show?
Yeah, my free conscience. Fuck it, dude. I'll vote for a moldy dish sponge over Trump at this point, because it's technically alive.
That's fair, and I respect that.
I will swallow razor blades if I got to. I don't give a fuck.
If that's how you feel,
I'm tired of this guy.
Then
I don't give a shit.
Then that's fine. I get it. What's funny is that the right is like, how could you put up Joe Biden? And it's like, well, because y'all put up Trump.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Biden
anymore.
is the Democrats' version of Trump in the sense of we care so little about what this guy is,
Yeah.
as long as he can beat the other side.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's supposed to be like the safe candidate, like legitimately,
Which
like
is
sad.
insane.
Which is sad. Although he
Yeah.
did win. I mean, it's not like you could make the point. You could probably make the argument in like 2016, Bernie got fucked over, but in this election series, he just fucked himself. Like he didn't get the delegate votes. Sorry, he didn't. He aligned himself with the wrong people. He didn't have a message that met enough people. Like, especially with like the consolidation.
The problem with Bernie. The problem with Bernie is that there's a lot of people in this country, and it's kind of an American ideal. There's a lot of people, millions upon millions of people in this country who love to talk about shit, but don't do anything.
Yeah.
I found that out pretty early into my working career when I was about 20 and I worked at AT&T and I was part of a union.
Yeah.
And the talk of strike came. And when it came to it, nobody did it.
Yeah.
Nobody will do it. And so that's the problem with, somebody like Bernie, who has been, who I think that has a lot of things to say that a lot of people from both sides can't agree on.
Also, walks the walk. Are you
Right.
kidding me?
But
Like that
that's
dude's
the
been
thing.
saying the same thing since like since he was in grade school with dinosaurs, okay?
Right. And that makes him anomalous. Most people don't walk the walk. So when it came time to walk the walk, people did what they were going to do, and they voted for Joe Biden because he wasn't extreme. He wasn't
Silly.
He wasn't
Because the thing, like,
gonna offer
anytime,
any real change.
let's be real, anytime the Democratic establishment puts up a non-progressive candidate, somebody who's not seen as like far left, they lose. It's just
Yeah.
how it goes. Like Barack Obama was deemed as like one of the most radically socialist presidents of all time. And he dropped that big dick all over America for 8 years. Like, anytime that like they put up somebody like Hillary Clinton, who seems like a safe candidate.
I mean, depending on who you are, doesn't seem like a safe candidate to me. Hey, I know. Let's bring back the memory of the guy that got ahead in the Oval Office.
Hey, man.
Like,
At least it wasn't like, dude, I would take, like, listen, man, if you're the president of the United States and you aren't getting a little Hummer every now and then, like, come on.
I don't have any issue. I don't take any issue with it happening so much as I take issue with it coming out. See, once it comes out, if you're the president and you can't keep that shit under wraps, then something's wrong with you.
Or just lie enough to the point where everything is open and then nobody knows what the real thing is.
That's true.
Like, do I want to fuck my daughter or don't I?
Yeah.
You'll never know.
That's true.
He does.
It's like he leaves it mysterious.
He doesn't leave it mysterious, though. He wants to fuck his daughter.
No more politics.
Yeah.
Let's talk about anime.
Okay.
Let's talk about Aminu.
Amino, which one do you want to start with?
Well, I just watched The Misfit of Demon King Academy today.
Hell yeah.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, right? I was right, dude.
Yeah.
Although I wasn't right about him being Avo Stilhevia. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, that was weird. And it was also like
As soon as that happened, I was like, oh, of course.
It was also like
Of
a really
course.
neat twist that it's like, oh, he just reincarnated as a demon. It's like
Well, that's what I was saying. Like,
wolf
of
in
course.
sheep's clothing.
Yeah. I've been saying that this whole time, like, that he's not actually that one swordsman, that he is the full on, like, canon.
Oh, yeah.
Like, obviously, like, from the get-go.
Right,
They've
but-
been very clear with that, but, like, to have him actually be the big bad.
Yeah, well,
it's
I
interesting.
thought that it was a situation wherein he didn't really have those memories, and like Anos was going to have to bring those memories out in him, and
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't realize it was a thing where it was like he knew what was going on.
Yeah,
and he also
I mean-
happened to be playing this other role.
To be fair, though, like, he from the get-go has been pretty consistently, like, not really playing with, like, a full set of cards, like, it's kind of been, like, a weird anomaly in that world. Like, he doesn't fit into the paradigms he's willing to do, like, this or that. Like, when he was like, yeah, I'll just join the fucking whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, I guess he kind of came in as like a bit of an outsider, I guess.
So, like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm surprised. I don't think he's actually Avo Stilhevia. I think he's just being, like, modeled in that way.
It does feel kind of like a weak reveal if that's the case.
I don't think it is.
And it's just like, wait a minute,
I think potentially, like, if anything, it's that he's been, like, kind of subjugated into that role. 'Cause I don't.
Yeah, because Canon got jacked, right? Like, that's part of the story too.
Yeah.
Is that he got Caesared.
There's clearly. Yeah. There's some clearly. Yeah.
He really did.
Yeah.
Like,
Get Caesar. Fuck.
yeah, his subordinate, his buddy, was like, peace.
Yeah. Got to kill all the demons.
Real weird.
Yeah, the whole thing is really weird. But I mean, I guess, like, that's what I like about the show, is that they are willing to play around with this idea that it's not something that can be taken care of just by brute force.
Yeah.
It's something that, like, continually, like, Also, the whole taboo magic thing was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird like cop out as well. Like
It did kind of come out of nowhere. Like it
Came
was
out of
just
nowhere.
like, hi, I'm the one that does all the things. And it's like, what?
Why?
Why? Like from where and why? And it did feel a little compressed.
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit that makes me feel like when I see episodes like that, I think like from a writer's perspective, that's the kind of thing where it's like the writers come to the producers and they're like, all right, gang, we've got 3 more episodes. And they're like, we only have room for 1 more. And they're like, what?
I would say the opposite. Like, well, there's only 2 more episodes left in the season. It's like, but we've got 4 seasons worth of material, dog.
Right.
It's like, we'll get it out.
Yeah.
Do what you can now.
So it does feel that it compressed in that way because it was like that whole episode, it was very like big reveal after the next and then like immediately resolved. Like the 7 demon god guys.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, here are these guys. And it's like, before you even like know their story and what they're fully about, the guy's like, all right, I got him captured. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
What's happening? Like when you look at something like Black Clover that takes fucking 20 episodes to
It's the
explain to you
antithesis
the
of
elf
that.
story, and then you see that episode and it's like, okay, I feel like a little cheated on story.
Yeah. Is it really that bad though?
Unless it's more complex than that, like you think. Like
I'm pretty sure that I don't know the details, like how many episodes there are or how long it's going to run for. It feels very much like a 26 episode series.
I hope so.
Right. So it feels like, but I think it's just 26 episodes and then done.
Oh, really?
Like a Samurai Champloo. I don't think that there's that much that you can get into. Like, especially at this point, I think what's going to happen.
Well, there are 2 other kingdoms.
Yeah, but like not really. Like the whole point is it's kind of like with Steven Universe, man. Like once you get done with the story of Steven Universe, like the story's done. Like you could fill more into that vacuum, but like nobody wants that. Like,
I mean, I don't know. I disagree. I think like I think
here's what I think is going to happen. So we're on what, episode 11?
right.
By episode 13, it's going to be revealed that Lei is not actually Avo Still Heavy and he's being used. The whole thing is going to be some kind of like this whole like the reason why he's being pushed towards a war with the humans or whatever is to get some ancient shit that Avo Still Heavy needs to be able to fight back against Danos, right? So then after that, they're going to regroup and they're going to try to figure out, like, ascertain some more information from the human kingdom and from the demon kingdom about what's going on. And then they're going to climax. And then he's going to defeat him. I think that's how it's going to go.
We'll see.
I don't know.
We'll see, senpai.
It's just my gut instinct. I could be wrong.
There's an opportunity for them to go into a different direction that might be something that completely blows that out of the water. Like,
Sure.
You know, it's just like, I think it's easier to
It's very much stayed on course, though.
well, it's easier to ignore like major points like that in other animes once you've watched a lot of it. But like, you could argue that like Black Clover, I feel like up to the point where the elf situation was happening, I was kind of like, where is this going?
Yeah.
And when they brought the devil out, it was like, okay, so
shit.
this is a whole new thing.
Yeah.
And so that's what I mean. Like, if there are these 2 other kingdoms, we don't know. And to your point about like, well, maybe he's being used. Maybe he's being used by a dragon, which is from the other kingdom, and we know nothing about that because they've not been addressed. No, there's 4.
There are 4.
Yeah, because when they were retelling the lore in today's episode, it said 4. And I remember seeing that and thinking Justin was right because you had said to me on a podcast, like, yeah, I think it's 4. And then you were like, well, it may be 3, but it is 4. And so then we know for a fact that we have the demon and the hero.
I get kind of jumbled up with all the different anime.
And then I think the human world is 1.
It's been popping off, bro.
So there's 4 we don't. So the 4th one we don't know of.
Yeah. Well, technically, yeah. There's probably just like an entire spirit world,
spirit realm,
and then there's probably like an angel realm.
Yeah.
So it's probably the other one, or like some kind of like, well, I guess the humans kind of like take the divine, quote unquote, magic, which I think is bullshit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Also, like, I still love how much of a flex that was when they were like, there's 10 million people in the city. How are you going to fight that love? And he's like, no, just 8's fine.
Yeah.
It'll be enough. And then they just start singing that sappy song. They're like, what the fuck is with these girls? What the fuck?
Yeah. His fan club, son.
Yeah, bro.
The Anos Voldegode fan club. What about ReZero?
Did you catch up? Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I can't say that I'm too shocked or surprised.
I'm a little. I'm not
with
gonna lie.
Roswell. Like, I mean,
I was a little happy that Ram finally died on camera, like Rem did. Like, there was a little bit of me that was like, Charles isn't gonna like that, and that makes me happy.
I'm indifferent to it, honestly.
Really?
I think only because I've the
She
way
got
that I'm
betrayed though.
I know, yeah, definitely. But I just
she
mean
was
like,
kind of happy at the end when he was like, "You were a good servant."
well, I feel like I'm watching the show as if I'm Natsuki, in the sense that like I know that it's going to be okay because eventually he'll die and try again.
Sure.
So I've become complacent, and I'm wondering, and
That was actually interesting when Roswell was like, "See,
Yeah.
you're not surprised at all."
That's that, like, he's like, you're not very shocked, but and I felt that as the viewer, which is really talented writing.
Oh yeah.
Because they do it in such a way where it's like you become complacent with characters, which makes me think like we're in for something that's going to be really world changing.
I thought for sure that when Subaru woke up and Amelia was like all hard on for him, that she just had been possessed by the witch.
Oh yeah.
I was like, that's the only explanation. The witch looks exactly like her. I think it's like her mom or some shit.
No, well, the witch is trying to remember, because Ram explained this, or not Ram, the other little pink haired girl, the one that's all the clones.
the one that is made by Echidna.
Yes.
Yeah.
She explained that the witch is looking for a proper vessel, and that's what the trial is all about.
Yeah.
So Amelia, which, I mean, people say that she looks like her. So
but it is interesting
that explains why Echidna would be like, oh, this is my avatar that I want.
Well,
so like, get her here to this forest
Echidna.
and get her to take the trial.
I always forget her name. Satella.
Saitama.
Yeah, Saitama. No, well, because it does kind of bring back to like the first season when she first initially tells Subaru that that's her name.
Yes.
Which means that there's because at first you kind of like throw it off like, okay, she's probably just because everyone thinks that that's who she is, that she just uses that name. But like, I don't know.
Maybe the witches tried inhabiting her different times, and
why do you think Puck is always like staying around?
Yeah,
like, and now Puck's gone, so it's like perfect opportunity.
Right. But what I mean is like,
where the fuck is Puck at, by the way? What the fuck are you doing, bro?
The witch is using Natsuki as a global reset button, so that she can perfect getting herself into Amelia's body.
Because the thing about, like, at least from the way that the witch has described it, she is in love with him. And that's why, like, it doesn't matter what happens to anyone else, whether that be Amelia or Ram or any of the other apostles, it doesn't matter.
Right.
The reset is only existing for him because she loves him. Yeah. She wants him. So I don't know if he's the vessel or if she's just like craves the attention from him because he's got like a different. I don't fucking know. I don't know what it is about Subaru that all these witches get wet for, but like they do. They all do.
Well, like, because he's not from their world.
Yeah, sure, that's it. But like,
that's it.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You don't think that if an alien landed on Earth, there would be a bunch of fucking women that were like, oh. Are you kidding me? Of course there would.
I don't know. Like,
there's a major appeal to that stranger in a strange land kind of shit.
Sure. But like the reason why I think that Amelia was possessed by Satella is because of her eyes. Although that did kind of break my heart a little bit when Subaru was like, she said she loved me. She'd never say that.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but I don't know. Fuck Subaru. He's mean as fuck to Otto for no reason.
I mean, I think that's more just like a brotherly thing. Like,
whatever. Otto's just like a beat up character that was just thrown in there to like give Subaru somebody to vent on.
Of course. He's like Gordon. Nobody gives a shit about them.
Yeah. That was
except for you.
Really fucking vicious and hard.
Yeah, 69.
Oh my God. That was really vicious and hardcore when Roswell just fucking gutted Ram and Garfield.
Oh, he knocked the top of his head off.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I can't if you transform. I can't beat you if you're transformed.
Really,
I gotta do it now. Like,
really
goddamn.
Hardcore.
Yeah.
And then just beat the dog shit out of Natsuki.
Yeah.
And then that whole moment, it was almost comforting.
A little bit.
That the little monologue Roswell gives before he just like gets taken down by the rabbits, like.
Although he's clearly like obsessed with Satella.
Oh well, yeah.
Same with like. Also, I'm sorry with Betty, like.
Oh God.
When she was like. Because, like, you know, he had mentioned, like, tell her that you're the one.
I'm so sad about that stuff.
And then, like,
I don't even want to talk about it.
So then you're the one that's going to, like, either kill me or love me. It's one or the other.
Oh, my God.
And he's like, fucking, I can't.
And that shit made me emotional for real, bro. Like, I love Beatrice. And, like, finding that out about her just, like, makes me love her character more.
She's, like, crying and, like, holding her arms out to him. Yeah. I was like...
It's like, what? Yeah. I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, but, you know, good for her getting her release.
one version of her.
Yeah,
it's
that's
gonna
true.
reset. So
Yeah.
she's just gonna have to do it again. But
So, and then where else are we? Fire Force?
Fire Force was pretty dope.
Oh my God, Joker.
Bro, Joker.
Can we? I was thinking about this earlier. Can we just have a show that's just Anos Voldegod and Joker
That's like a tag team
just
duo.
going around to different worlds and
my
fucking killing
God.
shit?
Dude, when his like dude,
When his, you know what it reminded me of was God of High School.
a little bit.
I was like, oh, it's this fucking Churyak or
It actually
whatever.
kind of reminds me of, and I still hold, and I think it's because it's the same animation team. I'm not sure, but I think it is. As Soul Eater. Soul Eater has that same kind of like, especially when it gets to like,
Oh, it is. Remember, we looked that up.
because like
it is the
towards-
same. It's the same guy. It's the same
artist.
illustrator.
towards like the second half of Soul Eater, the Kishin or whatever, he's obsessed with, like, he's the incarnate of madness, right? So like he emanates crazy. And
Yeah.
people start hallucinating and go crazy when they're in his presence.
Right.
That's why Death like literally ripped his skin off, put him in a bag made of his skin, and tied him up and put him at the bottom of the academy. He's holding him there because otherwise, like, the world will just go mad. So there are moments when,
See, that's the kind of shit I think, by the way, just a quick aside, I think happened with Bam in Tower of God.
what? Oh, he's put down there as like a reason. Yeah, probably.
Because that's the thing.
He's
it's like,
literally made of the what? Like he's
Yeah,
made of that.
That's
shit.
what I mean. Like he
Yeah.
was born and some prophet was like, too powerful, bury him under the tower. And then
Kick him down. Yeah.
And then this girl found him.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway, go ahead.
There are moments where the characters are going mad that reminded me heavy of when Joker's like toxic cigarettes, like his fucking
Holy
LSD
shit, it
cigarettes
was
started
so
lying off.
fucking cool.
Oh, dude.
was so
Especially the moment
cool.
when like the caution tape shows up and it's like, oh shit.
By the way,
They're going in.
there's another great example of anime making you hate someone really fast, because it only took maybe 3 or 4 scenes with that guy for me to
before I was
just
like,
be
"Fuck
like,
that guy."
Joker, obliterate him into pieces.
I don't care. And he does. And it's like,
I
oh,
know.
fuck
It's
yeah.
so satisfying.
And then like just it's so, like such a good cliffhanger to be like, you never use your trump card against not the final boss. Isn't that right? And he turns and like Burns is walking down. I was like, oh fuck yeah, let's go.
Horse, right?
dude.
Like when I saw him, I just had I had an of course moment.
Yeah. I was like, oh,
And
duh.
mad respect to them for doing it that way, because I feel like that episode wouldn't have been as rewarding had it happened earlier on.
Yeah, no, it had to happen at that point.
It's very intelligently
Because like if you remember, like
ordered.
Burns, like early in, like when Shinra and Arthur were fighting him and he just like stepped, and like the force of him taking a step towards him knocked him out. Like,
Yeah.
he's been set up as like this god, like just this literal, like just badass, the devil from Black Clover. Just like, you don't fuck with that.
Yeah.
You don't fuck with Burns. You don't fuck with Benimaru. You don't fuck with Joker. And so to have all of them in the same spot
Yeah.
about to go at it, like, fuck me, dude. That's awesome.
I know, like
It's
all
so
we need,
badass.
all we need now is for Shenra to show up somehow.
Yeah.
Like, but I think that also,
God, I can't wait.
yeah,
It's so hype.
it's a really fucking great show.
Speaking of God of High School, though,
Oh yeah,
oh my God, when he drops the monkey paw on his ass, like,
yeah, it's really fucking crazy. Like everything just.
it was impressive because, like,
It was a Goku moment. It was like,
so
uh-oh,
good.
he's
Yeah.
up to the next
Uh-oh,
level.
yeah. just gets launched up into the sky that he just created in the middle of the.
And then like hard cut to the hospital, and they're just like, "I'm okay. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm okay."
Yeah, it's fine. Like, oh my God, dude. Plus, like, I don't know, like just when he like smacks that Naruto clone just down onto the pavement, I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
oh fuck yeah, dude.
Also, I've finished the Alvin arc
Oh really?
and Black Clover. I'm officially on to a Slice of Life episode, at least one.
What's happened?
wherein they rebuild the hideout.
Okay. So what was the last thing that happened?
So they defeated the demon,
Yeah.
and
the
then
devil.
they had their little elven prayer ceremony.
Yeah.
Where they all kind of disappear, and then Roddy's reincarnates Patry.
Yep.
And then the fucking Wizard King
Yeah.
is now like
A
12.
child,
And
yeah.
he's like, hey guys.
How's it going?
So I did a thing.
Yeah.
And
So good.
And then they had the
You have no idea how
trial.
hard it was to like not say anything.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because you were like, fucking Julius is dead. And then in the back of my mind, I'm like, nah, he's not dead yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically he is.
But like for all intents and purposes, like
Yeah.
he's out of commission.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
such a smart thing to do with a character like that.
Yeah, it was really cool. And like, especially to tie it all back to the mark on his head, because it's like, oh, what a cute wrap up for that. Because it's something that always you're like, what is that? But
Yeah.
then you're like, it's anime.
Yeah.
But it's
anime.
cool to have like a reason for that.
tattoo.
Like, oh, that's what he was doing.
Yeah. Just building up the magic.
But then,
And I mean,
then they
it
had
makes
the
sense
trial.
too. Like, yeah.
Which, as soon as he was like, there's no way that anybody is going to save you, you're definitely fucked. I was like, oh, well, here the Black Bulls come.
Yeah.
And then,
No
like,
shit.
almost on cue, they just break the fucking wall of the courthouse
Yeah.
down. They're like,
so, I mean,
hey.
you're pretty much caught up. Like, because at this point, there's a little bit more.
Well, there's like 20 more episodes. I mean, I'm only
You're
on
pretty
like,
much caught up.
I'm on
Trust
like
me.
125 because, like, they're
Trust me.
okay.
It's been nothing but like for the past like 4 or 5 weeks. Here's some filler shit while we get ready for the next arc.
Yeah. Well, I'm okay with that.
It's okay.
I do like I like the slice of life stuff. Like, I like the hideout episode where they're all like, they give Henry
Oh yeah.
their ideas for how they want the hideout to look.
Yeah, and it just completely fucks up.
Henry's
everything.
so great too. Like, just that slow talking.
Yeah, it's
that
great.
Shit is so cool. And I love the other thing I love about anime is that like all of the characters get a say.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Like, and it was funny because it happened twice in a row in that episode in the courthouse because they break through, and first they have a moment where everybody says something about how cool Asta is.
Yeah.
And then later, when they mention Nero being part of the Black Bulls, everybody
she's
goes
the
around and
best.
says something about how awesome Nero
I
is,
love
or like
Nero.
how welcome she is
She's
to the group.
adorable.
I think she's great. I think she's a really cool character. And I also appreciated getting to see the Alvin story
Oh yeah.
kind of fully,
Well, yeah.
as
I
opposed
mean,
to just the bits and pieces of it.
it is nice having because like for the entirety of the series up to that point, it had just been the human experience behind it. And so
Right.
it was just the legend of the Wizard King, right? And so then it like, okay, well, there was something to do with elves. And then it was like, okay, still kind of like not sure where this all lines up or how this all, and then like once everything kind of like lines into place and you're like, oh, okay. So this devil was like playing everything from behind the scenes to orchestrate this performance
Yeah.
for his own amusement so he could get a body. Also, like, Yami getting the last slice in, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
So satisfying. When he's just like, he's there, he's like, hang on. There he is. And then it just goes through like halfway through the hideout and it just
Yeah.
like goes through. He's like, what the fuck?
I will say that Black Clover is like my hero in that way, where there are like tons of characters to love.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and it never really like I don't know, even now, because like where they're at now is they're preparing for another like devil. Obviously, like I think even at that point they had mentioned like there's more than just the one that was showing up and the one that Asta is like kind of pseudo made a contract with.
Yeah, a little bit.
Unintentionally. There are other ones.
My favorite shit is how like shocked everybody was by that, particularly Asta.
it was like, what?
What? A devil? And it's like, what do you think you've been doing, bro?
Yeah, dog. like
Bro, you got a black wing coming out of your back.
yeah, you know how, like you got 5 leaves on your clover?
Your eyes red, bro.
Clearly there's something going on here, bro. The only one that I don't like so far, there are only 2 I dislike. It's Mimosa's older brother, the one that's always like, I'm so beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't like Gosh. Gosh?
Oh, yeah.
Gosh?
You mean the pedophile?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's hard to like.
He really makes it hard,
It's
man.
really
Like, it's
fucking
really difficult to
crazy.
like him. Like I get that he like fulfills that like slot, and because like basically like the thing that's nice about Black Clover is they kind of give like each character archetype a place to shine.
Right.
You know, it was kind of like that with Demon Slayer. Like
Yeah.
each archetype gets very well. Like actually, I think Demon Slayer is like a masterclass in how to like create and to allow an archetype to shine in a
Yeah.
particular way. Like even with just having like the trio the way they are. Like Inosuke's the hard-headed, like I just want to be strong for the sake of being strong. There's like the cowardly one who's like unintentionally one of the strongest in the universe.
Yeah.
And then the one that's like, I'm just here because I want to save other people.
Yeah,
You know,
it's like it's like there's a rule of threes to that kind of stuff. Like something that I always think of is there's an episode of Rocco.
I love Rocco's
where
Modern Life.
I know it's so good, but there's an episode where they get potato chips and they have to divide them, and so they each get 5, and Filbert is counting his, and Heifer eats his immediately, and then is upset that he has none. And Rocco is just kind of like casually eating them like a normal person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
I do remember that.
It's like 3 types of, it's like that thing
they did
where
that
I
in
said
SpongeBob too, where it's like with the chocolate bar. And like SpongeBob and Patrick, and he immediately eats his chocolate bar and is like, no, I'm going to starve. And then it does like that super zoom in of his gut with like the veins and shit.
That's like that. I did in that episode of the Wii Play.
SpongeBob just kind of like, yeah.
I made that thing that's, there are 3 different types of D&D players. And it was when Ethan was trying to figure out some math, and Jay was like, "This game's not about math; it's about pretend." And then I said, "Sometimes it's about math." And then Rigsby goes, "It's always about math."
Pretty much, yeah.
So it's like
the same kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what God of High School is doing really well with the 3 main characters that they've got.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
They each hit a different node for like a character that you can imprint yourself on.
It's also important, I think, for you to establish a character that you want to learn more about.
Oh yeah, like for you, the shark guy. I don't fucking like the shark guy.
Oh my god, I cannot wait.
I don't like him.
It's gonna be crazy, dude.
He just strikes me as the type of character that's like, I don't really want anything to do with you.
He seems like he's very like Draco Malfoy. Like, he's badass and he knows it. He's unapologetic about it, and like, he doesn't really care who gets in his way.
That's
like
very evident.
Yeah.
Like,
he just
has the shark eat the people that are in his way.
Well, I mean that guy was
fucked up.
I mean, what was his other? He had no real other choice. Like, he strikes me as a guy who capitalizes on the fact that he had no other choice.
Yeah, sets up the opportunity so that he can do what he wants to do.
Like, he probably would have done that even had he a choice. But I don't think that he really had one there. Because, like, who the fuck else was going to stop him?
Yeah. Well,
like,
I mean, the Ninetales kid.
Yeah. Oh, it's totally Ninetales, right? That's so cool.
Yeah.
I remember, when I was seeing that, I was like, oh my gosh, Ninetales.
It's Naruto.
Yeah, Vulpix.
Vulpix,
yay.
Yeah, straight up. And then the fucking monkey god.
Yeah.
Just, like, dropped the fat monkey
I really want to
on his
know
ass.
more about the lore now.
Yeah.
Like, especially seeing Jin Mori, like, ascend, or whatever you want to say, like, hit that level. Like, now that I've gotten the taste of that, it's like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like,
well, because, like,
let's get into the real meat of, like, what this power is, where it comes from, like, who has access to it.
I do think it's interesting that, like, they've done a really good job of, like, subverting expectations. So, like, at first they were like, oh, there's 2 tiger cubs. There's a tiger cub. And the entire time you think he's talking about Jin Mori, but he's actually talking about Don Hayway. Or
Handewe.
Handewe.
Yeah. Handewe.
Yeah.
That's an easy way to remember it.
Yeah. And so it's like, okay, no, he was actually talking about the other character, and now they both are tiger cubs. And I was like, okay, well, clearly he's got to be the key. Nope, he's not the key. The other guy's the key. So it's like, it's kind of interesting that, like, Jin Mori is kind of like the assumed role for, like, everything people are talking about. Like, you kind of just assume that he's the one that they're talking about.
Yeah.
And then they're really not talking about him at all. And so it's kind of a nice, like, he gets to kind of jump in and capitalize on these moments. I also think it's just awesome that, like, of course he can just do whatever he sees other people do. Of course he can do that. Like, he just sees someone do a stance. He's like, okay, I can do that now.
Well, it's like monkey see, monkey do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's great. Like, when he's like, when the Ninetales was like, oh, prominence or whatever, and just, like, instant transmissions himself to the other part of the room. He's like,
yeah,
all right, cool, I can do that.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Wait. Like,
well,
really?
It seems to be like that's his real power, and that's like the kind of key they're looking for, is a potential wherein you could have someone that can do anything.
No, because the key is most certainly, I don't know if you noticed, but, like, during that whole fight scene, because, like, there was a lot of other shit happening, but one thing in particular was the shark guy, like, the thorns started coming out of his hands, and the other people's chakriok started resonating with him. Where it didn't happen with Jin Mori. It happened with the Ninetales guy. clearly that's the key because it unlocks other people's Chakriak.
Right.
So like it's kind of like an accelerator, which if you're fighting against a weird evil cult, probably be useful, to like unlock other people or at least get them to the next level.
Well, so then you think that maybe Jin Mori is just a bonus for them because like he seems to be able to.
I think Jin Mori is just right place, right time. Like he's just, it's kind of one of those like with Asta. It's like, well, the main character is supposed to be, like, for all intents and purposes is the one that's like supposed to be like the clear cut winner. And then there's like this kid off to the side who's just for some reason doing everything he can.
Yeah.
I feel the same kind of like dichotomy there.
I'm also getting like, it also reminds me a bit of Deku in the sense that like everyone around him seems to have like a thing that they do and that's what they specialize and that's what they use to kick ass. Whereas he just kind of like he does with One for All is like, well, I'm just going to like do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And that has its own power.
It also kind of like influences others around him to step up, because like even like with Handewe and Yumira, clearly they both were encouraged to compete, like that rivalry with them. Even the guy that turned into the key was in his own way starts to kind of like instigate that from other people and kind of like push them past their limits.
Well, that was probably the whole idea of the tournament, right?
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
probably not even so much about who wins, but more about like, let's get the strongest people all together
and see what happens
and see if we can find the key.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's see what happens.
I mean, it totally makes sense. And then they called it off, right?
Yeah, they just did.
So they're like, no more God of High School.
We're done.
And it's like, what?
Yeah, well, I mean...
What about Jin Mori v Shark Guy?
Well, they're going to fight, but I just don't... Not under the pretense of it being for the tournament.
Right. Well, because it's bigger now.
Yeah.
It's more important.
It's gone... They've already gotten what they wanted out of God of High School, so there's no point in keeping it going, especially since, like, clearly they've already been infiltrated and all this shit's been happening.
Oh, my God.
That was a rough one.
You all right over there,
Yeah,
man?
I'm okay. It's just interesting because, like... Jin Mori from like the offset up until like just recently, like when his grandpa like got taken or whatever, was just like, I just want to fight Blondie. I just want to fight. I just want to have a good time. I just want to fight friends. Like I just want to make friends and fight people. And now it's like, oh, I'm kind of a god.
Yeah. And also, where the fuck is my grandpa?
Yeah, straight up. Like, where the fuck is grandpa?
There's a bit of motivation in that for sure. So I was in the studio yesterday. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk to you about.
Sure.
I can talk about this because this episode comes out on Thursday because that's our new format. And this will have already happened in the D&D campaign. Wednesday, Tantor's back.
Okay, cool.
Ethan and I have already played one episode of Tantor's Journal, which will release after the campaign is over. We're gonna do two more of them next week.
Okay.
But yeah, Tantor's coming back.
Cool.
Yeah, bro. It's gonna be
I don't care.
so awesome. Well, if you were a friend and like
if I were a
cared
friend
about anything that I did, you would probably watch it and already know the story, but
too bad.
You didn't even know what I was talking about when I said Mechanic Edition today. So
no, you just said the mechanic's doing good. And
that's what I said.
You did say
the mechanic's doing good.
You said, oh, mechanic's doing better than I thought. And I was like, wait a second. Oh, you're talking about the Dungeons and Dragons Mechanic Edition.
Okay, but you act like I said something.
You start a lot of conversations halfway through the thought. So don't give me that shit like, oh, you should just know what I'm thinking.
I know, but you act like...
It took me like 3 seconds to recognize.
That's what I'm saying.
Word. Okay,
and you act like it should have taken you like a year of research.
No, it's just you're acting like I should have been on your level the entire time. Like the
I
moment
wasn't.
You said mechanic, I should have been like, oh yeah, absolutely. I watch everything Manshorts does. I know what you're talking about.
Not the moment, but within a few seconds, which is what happened.
Yeah, but you were kind of like, well, if you were a real friend, you would know. It's like, fuck you, dude.
That was hyperbole.
Yeah, but still, made me feel bad.
You treat it like I said, like yogurt diarrhea.
Oh, it might as well have been yogurt diarrhea.
I was talking about the
note to the people,
the performance of Mechanic
If you haven't
Edition.
done yogurt diarrhea edition, you should make yogurt diarrhea edition.
Don't do that. Oh, I am gonna make a game though.
You gotta make
shit's
a yogurt
happening.
diarrhea.
No, but I am gonna make a Manshorts game.
Yeah,
that shit's gonna happen. I'm gonna probably use World Anvil to build a lot of it.
Use coupon code Manshorts.
Yeah, go to worldanvil.com and use the code Manshorts, 25% off
See, I'm
any
a
of the
good friend.
annual memberships. It really is fucking badass.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, it's so crazy.
I haven't. So crazy.
Yeah, it's really
So
nuts.
crazy.
The stuff you can do on there. What else have I been watching? Been watching
I gotta say-
Lovecraft Country, which is so good. Every episode is better than the one before.
I honestly like, and I say this a lot, but One Piece has been getting steadily better.
I heard something major happened. Like Zoro was reunited with someone.
No.
And it had been like 6 years since they last met or something.
No, I mean, well, no. The thing that like just got, which is weird, like they're doing a lot of like, it's been well known and well established. Like there are obviously like devil fruits, right? And there's one guy, Kaido, and he's trying to make an army, like just a literal like pirate fleet of all,
Fruits.
Essentially, all of them eat the fruit.
A
right?
fruit army.
Yeah, but so like they started manufacturing their own. Right, so they're called smile fruits, and the entire time you're like, whatever, they just call it smile fruits. It's anime, whatever.
Right.
They have weird names for all the things. It doesn't matter. So then, when you get to the Wano arc, it's completely like not aligned at all. But like, there's a town where like everyone there just laughs. It's a little town that's like just stricken with poverty. Like they can barely eat. Like there's no.
Oh, hilarious.
But they all laugh. Like all they do is laugh. Like they have no other response to anything. It's like, oh man, I'm still hungry, and then they start laughing hysterically about it. You know,
Man, that wouldn't get old fast
it
at
does.
all.
So then, like one of the guys gets killed, execution style, and everybody else from the town that all loved him are like laughing. Even her daughter, even his daughter's like laughing, and like tears are running down her face as she's like running to go to him. And like Zoro's like, what the fuck? Someone just died. Can anyone explain to me why this is so fucking funny?
Right.
And then it becomes apparent that like, because somehow or another, like to test the smile fruits, if you're not compatible with it, it removes all emotion from your body. Like, so the only thing you can do is smile or laugh. And that's why they call it the smile
They
fruit.
were cursed by a haha wizard.
Kind of.
By
So
a
basically,
chuckle
like
magician.
this town that's completely like ransacked with poverty, like no food or whatever. The current like shogun or whatever was like, fuck them. All of the defective fruits, we'll just give them those, and then they won't cry or complain anymore. They'll all just be laughing, and they've been fed. So now all they can do is laugh. They can't cry. They can't have any kind of like normal recourse.
Cool.
So it's like, wow, they took everything away from them, and then also took away their ability to do anything besides laugh and smile.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, man, that's fucked.
Why have real emotion when you can just laugh like a lunatic all the time?
Oh, it's heartbreaking, dude. Like,
Seems fair to me. I'm sure there's probably a pretty high suicide rate in Haha
heavy
Village.
suits, yeah. Well, and then like one of the guys, like I think I showed you the fight. It's like Zoro and against this guy that's like laughing, and he's like got these two scythes, and then like he stabs Zoro with it, and then Zoro takes the scythe away from him, like after it's been like stuck into his body. He's like, I'm gonna borrow that shit, and then just like cuts him down immediately after it. Turns out he also was like fed one of those fruits, and so then like he meets up with like his old. But it's a whole thing. Yeah, that might be what they're talking about, because like one of the other pirates from like the worst generation, which Luffy's a part of, showed up, and he was like his first mate, and he was like, you never laugh because anybody who makes fun of your laugh dies, so why the fuck are you just laughing like this? What the fuck happened? And he's just like tears running down his face, just laughing like a maniac. And that's where they end the episode. And I was like, man, it's getting dark real fast. Like,
yeah. Well, not real fast, right? Because there's a million episodes.
well, 942.
That's
a lot.
So stupid.
No, it's not. It's great, dude.
It seems really dumb.
Listen, man, it's the gift that keeps giving.
The only thing dumber than that is Brock's frying pan, drying pan joke.
What the fuck?
Do you remember that episode of Pokemon?
No.
When they're running and it starts to rain, and Brock's like, I'll just use my frying pan as a drying pan.
You
and
can get fucked, Charles. We were having a good time. I was having a great time hanging out, episode 69.
Oh, man.
Nice.
Yeah, but you had to expect that I would flip it around.
Yeah, the Spanish Inquisition.
If you know what I mean. The Spanish
is that
Inquisition.
What the? Yeah, no, but you had to expect
What is your zodiac sign again?
Capricorn.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Why?
That makes
So much sense. Oh my god, you
It
sound like
really
my mom.
does.
Fuck off.
It really does.
Why?
Because I've known Capricorns.
Oh yeah, so there's just like this.
Yeah, I know how y'all
whatever.
operate.
Yeah.
You're just real like,
Sure, yeah, I'm just the product of fucking stars.
yeah, you're goat.
Get the fuck off of my dick about this shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what a Capricorn would say.
Oh my God, you're such an Aries.
If you were a Libra or a Gemini,
I don't care.
it would have been.
I don't care.
You should care.
I don't.
Because it's really important to how
It is
things
not
are.
important
Yeah, dude. The
at
alignment
all.
of the stars gave us Donald Trump. Okay.
Oh my God.
And Donald Trump is going to save humanity from itself.
You know,
he's deep undercover
has it been
secret
an hour
agent.
yet?
No,
I'm getting kind of tired of this.
this is the most. This is the most important
Oh my
part of the
God.
episode, dude. I've got to convert you. Now, look, I know we joke a lot about like equality and shit, but like Donald Trump is
want my
our
firearm?
only hope.
Come to my house and kiss me for it.
He's our only hope against the interdimensional traveling demons who rape children. So if you're not on his side, then you're on the side of interdimensional demons that rape children. In which case, I'll pray for you, I guess. And
I literally hate everything about what just got said.
why?
I hate.
It's gospel, bro. It's in the Bible. I'll tell you what, if you want to have a real fun time, I watched a compilation of people freaking out about masks the other night. That shit is hilarious. I mean, the amount of it's my constitutional right.
I saw one where this
You're
lady
interfering
was
with my
she was, like,
constitution.
crying. She was like in a like fucking Target or something because that's a place people go to buy groceries
yeah.
at, and they just like turned off the light on the aisle that she was in and just walked away. So she started crying and like video recording herself crying like.
What's really funny about the people that are being like freakos about the masks is that like most of the videos they recorded themselves.
I know, because I think it makes them look good.
Yeah,
And it's
because
like-
they're like fighting against the sheep.
Really, all that's gonna happen is Charlie, Moist Critical, is just gonna make a video about you.
It's a really weird. You know, I lost
Oh, it's
respect
the
for
best.
him.
Why?
Did I tell you about this?
Why?
Well, because he had that video of his get demonetized.
Oh, you're talking about the one, the stupid one that he and Markiplier jumped ship on?
Yes, they both got it demonetized, which, by the way, clearly says to me that it was an algorithm error, that it
Yeah.
was done. But, you know, of course, like, there's this new rhetoric of how, like, there's white liberals in rooms on keyboards going through and searching anything that might be non-super left, and they're they're censoring it.
Did you actually like take the time to research it, or did you just like kind of do the normal thing where you just like read the video title and then read like the summary of what happened and be like, oh fuck them?
Yeah, I read
Cool.
the title of the video, and then
Neat.
that's why I made my decision to be disappointed in
Sounds about
someone
right.
that I typically like.
Sounds about right.
Would you like to educate me on what happened?
No, because I don't care about this.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it's really fucking annoying, and I'm seeing more and more of it from creators.
Cool.
The thing that made me upset is that he made this whole video about how poor me, this is censorship. We've got to rise up, and the people have to rise up against the establishment.
So here's the thing: I watched the same video that you did, and what I got from it was, this is clearly satire, and there are videos of people killing cats,
right,
and that's fine, but this video isn't.
right.
That's not woe is me. Like, Charlie's the least, like, of all the creators on the platform.
Okay, well, from what he said, it was the first time that he had ever started a hashtag.
Okay.
And the victory from the hashtag was that the video got monetized again, which says two things to me. The first thing it says is that it was clearly an error on YouTube's part, and upon discovering that the error existed, they fixed it pretty promptly.
That wouldn't be the case if, after Markiplier found out and had the same video, told them to take his down, and they did, which goes against the idea that it's just an algorithm thing. Because somebody at YouTube was like, oh, okay, yeah, fair is fair. We did demonetize that one, so we'll demonetize this one as well.
Right.
That doesn't strike me as like, oh, it's just an error. That means somebody at Team YouTube was like, oh, yeah, of course. Cool. We're going to stand behind this decision. So continue, I guess.
I don't understand what your issue is with that.
My issue is that you're saying that, like, clearly this was just an algorithm thing and it had nothing to do with any actual human being, and it was just strictly the algorithm. Had nothing to do with anybody else.
And
then,
your contention is that someone manually demonetized Charlie's video.
I'm just saying that, like, I disagree with your premise that there was no interaction with anyone at YouTube. There wasn't some liberal sitting in a windowless room just like yes.
But your contention is that there in fact was.
No, I'm just saying that, like, clearly somebody did after the fact, double down on it and say, yeah, we're going to demonetize that one as well.
Right, with Markiplier.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Charlie.
They kind of tag teamed it, dog. It was kind of a two-person.
It's not really a tag team
Yeah, it
if
is.
the first one is an algorithmic error and the second one is a human error.
Whatever. I don't even care.
Right?
About, like,
are those the same thing?
No, what I'm saying is that you're presenting this like, this is just crazy. And then they're just going to whine like, meow, meow, meow. I'm not getting money off this video that's like 2 years old now. Meow. And like, all I'm saying is that somebody did go in afterwards and reaffirm that decision that it got demonetized. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
I don't care.
After that, they fixed it.
Yeah. After there was a huge hullabaloo.
Hullabaloo?
Hullabaloo?
Yes.
Shaq.
All I'm saying is that
Sounds like a lot of complaining.
Look, first of all, this is my podcast, and I'll say whatever I want on it.
Saying.
Second of all, I didn't make a video. Charlie made a video.
Yeah, but you're kind of making a podcast about it now.
I didn't call for a hashtag. Charlie called for a hashtag. And then when things were right in the world,
hashtag 69.
He didn't. By the way, his follow-up video, nowhere in that did he thank YouTube for correcting their error and taking ownership of their error. He used that video as a victory for the people.
Cool.
We did it, guys. YouTube would have never fixed a mistake that they knew about if we didn't make a hashtag.
YouTube's generally pretty bad about that kind of shit. But I mean, like, with how much content they
How many videos have you made this year?
Oh, now all of a sudden my any input is invalid because I haven't.
No, it's not invalid. It's just completely unfounded. It's just that I hear
what I'm saying is, if you would let me finish my point before you get on a tirade.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Oh, I'm a creator on YouTube. I'm a partner. Fuck you.
I'm just saying I have...
Let me finish my point.
You're right. We have the same reference of knowledge.
All I'm saying is that YouTube has a lot of fucking video to go through every single day.
That's
right.
So,
of course, there are going to be problems with the algorithm. Typically, it seems like they don't really give a shit because it takes so much more time and more manpower to manually review this shit than it is just to have an algorithm that just does it. I'm defending them. I'm not defending Charlie on this one. All I'm saying is that...
Really?
Yeah,
because a minute ago, you were like, sounds like a lot of complaining.
Yeah, because you are complaining.
And now you're
And then I was like
with me?
about to say, like, yeah, YouTube, clearly that's the easier option. And you're like, well, see, you haven't made any videos on YouTube, so you don't really have a place to stand in this conversation.
Okay, that's, first of all, it's not what I said.
It's what you said. You can listen back to the tape.
I don't have a place to stand in the conversation.
Yeah.
I'll make sure
It said that you just said it.
Right,
You
now
just
I've
said
said
it.
it.
You just said it.
So now
You just said it.
Right.
69.
This is Trump.
Nice.
This is Trump
Nice.
tactics you're using on me.
Sure.
So
Hey, he's your deity that you were
the reason
trying to convert me with gospel about earlier.
All I was trying to say that what was annoying about Charlie is that he had an issue with a video. It was clearly an algorithmic issue.
Yeah.
Sure, it might have been followed up with Markiplier. That part of the conversation is kind of irrelevant because what I'm talking about specifically is what Charlie did and what Charlie said and what Charlie called for, which was YouTube is censoring me. We have to come together as the people and fight this. And then the next video was, we did it, guys. Victory for the little person. And it's like, that's some Trump shit. Like, you're making these people believe that you're their champion, when in reality what happened was YouTube fucked up. They fucked up twice, and then upon realizing that they'd fucked up twice, fixed it.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Yeah. There's no proletariat revolution that's happened because YouTube fixed an error.
Yeah.
It just gets under my skin when creators do this thing where they're like, we're fighting against the machine. And it's like,
you do realize like that the whole point of me arguing both sides of this is just to fuck with you, right? Like you do recognize that, yes?
I chalk up like 90% of our interactions to you just wanting to fuck with me.
Yeah. I like pushing your buttons.
You know why?
It's easy.
Because you're a Capricorn.
Yeah.
And that's what Capricorns do.
Hey, maybe if my ego was that big, I would have a problem with Charlie too.
But
Yeah.
I have a problem with Charlie because my ego's big. Yeah, you're right. That's it.
It probably is like
not the last 7 minutes of explanation. It's because my ego's big.
I can't get a hashtag to go trending on Twitter.
That's really what it is. You found me out, dude. The emperor has no clothes. What I really want is a trending hashtag on Twitter.
Hashtag 69. Make it trending.
And if we can make it trending, then we've won, gang.
Yeah.
Hey, if we can make hashtags, what is it?
That's how
What's
that's
the
how
hashtag?
America fixes. I don't know if you knew this.
Let's make the hashtag.
I don't know if you knew this, but
69 for America.
yeah, 69 America.
And if we can get that,
Let's 69
trending,
America, y'all.
then we have a victory against the machine.
Yeah.
Against
I don't
the
know if you knew this, but
censoring
that's how
despots that
how
rule
problems
over
get fixed.
the internet.
You make a hashtag on Twitter, and that fixes the problem.
Right.
Remember Coney? Remember how Coney 2012 is not a problem anymore? Because it was trending.
That's right. Once it trends, it's all good.
it.
Holy shit. I read an article the other day that said that 2/3 of the youth don't know that 6 million Jews were killed in the Holocaust.
Yeah.
This is like fall of Rome shit that's going on.
Oh, yeah.
for
We're
real.
at like...
We're approaching critical mass, folks.
Yeah.
Fucking buckle up. Get ammunition and food and
Yeah.
toilet paper.
Straight up.
And get
Although,
ready
what's
to
funny,
ride
though,
this
like,
apocalypse
I do think
out.
it's funny that all the people that are like, you can't have me wear a mask, are the same people that have like 80 years worth of food rations in their basement with like 8 million guns. They're ready for the apocalypse, but the moment they're like, I have to wear a mask at Target, that's a breach of my personal space. It's like, just go live in your fucking bunker. You have everything you need.
I'm telling you, man, it's their way of virtue signaling.
It is.
It's like, well,
100%.
well I don't want to fight for the Black Lives Matter, so I'm going to fight for liberty with no masks.
Yeah, pedophiles are wrong.
It gives
right,
them an
gang?
identity. Oh my God. There's nothing that drives me crazier than that shit. It's so crazy.
So crazy.
It's so outrageous.
So crazy.
It's like, hey, how about, any of you Save the Children fuckos had anything to say 3 years ago when it was found out that Drake was texting Millie Bobby Brown on a regular basis? And then it came out a year or so after that at Vanity Fair that Billie Eilish consistently texts Drake. Why is Drake texting teenage girls? And why are none of these Save the Children people saying anything about that?
Because they're celebrities.
Well, no, really what it comes down to is that he's in their CD player.
Yeah.
Or I guess these days on their iPod. in their
Way to go. Way to go.
On their Spotify playlist. But that's really the reality of it. It's
do you
like,
want to hit
man.
it? Like, do you want to talk about Napster next while we're hitting any of these things at their fucking prime now?
Yeah.
Fucking iPod.
I read a whole fucking thread the other day.
Can you imagine?
about,
like, it blows my mind that like even the idea of like a podcast was from an iPod, and yet I guarantee you most people who listen to podcasts are just like, yeah, it's just called a podcast. There's no reason behind it being called a podcast.
Well, I don't think that they would think that there's no reason behind it.
No, they probably think
Things
it's like,
don't
oh,
just get names.
it's like Twitter. yeah, they do all the time.
What are you talking about?
What is Facebook? What is a book of faces?
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's not. It's
Yes,
not a
it is.
book. It's electronic.
That's how it started. It was just a college thing. It was like a yearbook, but you couldn't call it yearbook.
So you called it Facebook.
Exactly.
Because it's got your face on it.
Yeah, that's because you put your face on it. MySpace was trending on Twitter last night.
Why?
I don't care. I was happy.
Why?
Oh, I know why. Because
It's 'cause
iPhone just had an update.
Oh, yeah.
And evidently on the iPhone update, you can now customize your home screen. And it was giving people MySpace vibes to the point where like it started trending on Twitter.
Weird.
It makes me yearn for it, bro.
I do miss it.
Thinking about it, like, especially like with how shitty Facebook has gotten with like,
I don't use Facebook.
oh boy. You know what that is?
The 69.
The Symbols of Freedom on episode 69. I can't believe we made it through.
Yeah.
You know, we did, it was less vulgar than I expected.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, we
was
talked
really-
about Ruth Bader Ginsburg all the way to traps.
Yeah, it's
It
comes
really rounded full circle. Yeah, it really did.
Full circle with the No Big Banana podcast every Thursday at 2:00.
Yeah. 1 full hour of just
Follow us on
regurgitation of just garbage.
nonsense. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at No Big Banana.
If you like the
Send
new format.
emails to nobigbanana@gmail.com.
Oh, you know what you should do?
What?
You know what you should do?
What?
You should 69 the bell.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, man, if there's one time that I can say fuck that bell, it's episode 69.
Well, yeah.
Give it a good old. It can be the 6, it can be the 9.
Reach around that.
Yeah, man, just give it a rusty trombone.
Oh, my. Just go crazy.